Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. This is Robert Fanny from Beats Base Studios, and today we are going to study something small about sound. We are not going to go into much detail, into deep things concerning sound, the physics part, but we are going to look at it from a layman's perspective, maybe someone doing sound or a consumer. Yeah, we will not go into those scientific terms, those deep things, just basic things. And so let's talk about sound. I don't know what you think or what you know, but from Google, sound is actually a type of energy made by vibrations. Yeah, type of energy made by vibrations. Or another definition from Wikipedia, it's a vibration that propagates as an acoustic wave through a transmission medium such as gas, liquid, or solid. Then another definition from Discovery of Sound in the Sea. This is how they define it. Sound is created by a vibrating object. Yeah, so I think this is more of the explanation. Then looking at another definition, it's a mechanical disturbance from a state of equilibrium that propagates through an elastic material medium. Yeah, so it's the ears that will perceive, will send a signal to the brain to perceive a sound. So we'll focus more on the layman's understanding of a sound. So first of all, a sound must be from a source, a particular source. Then number two, we need to have a medium through which the sound travels. And then number three, we also need to have someone or something that will perceive or receive that sound, the recipient. But from this video, it's you that is receiving this sound. So you are the recipient. So we have number one, source. Number two, medium. Number three, yes, you guessed it right, the recipient or the receiver. Maybe you should know that recording was not possible until around 1850s, maybe 1857 there. Yeah, there were many experiments that were done by people. You can Google, as I said, I will not go into details who did that, their names, but it's good to know that it was not possible until around 1850s. Yeah. Also, it's good to note that sound has evolved since then. The things that were being used during that time in sound, maybe microphones, recorders, whatever. There's really been a huge and bigger change in this aspect. Yeah, nowadays we are using computer. We are using different kind of microphones. You don't need a big mixer to record or maybe work on sound. It has been simplified. If you just have a laptop, you can produce music with a laptop. Just the laptop. You can even use the speaker, the laptop speaker and the laptop microphone. Imagine. Yeah. So a lot has changed. Sound is in frequency form because it's like in electric form. They are like waves, as you see in the chart there. They are like waves. If you have ever thrown maybe a stone in water and it splashes, so those splashes, like the waves, are a good example how sound looks like. If we were to put in a diagram or in a pictorial form, that's how it looks. Waves, we have bigger, shorter. So it's basically electric. vibrations that are generated. Let's look at the 7 characteristics of sound. We just mentioned them, but if you want a good explanation, you can inbox me or text this number. I'll send to you the PDF so that you understand more. I can't do this on a single video. So the 7 characteristics of sound. Number 1, we have amplitude. Number 2, we have frequency. Number 3, we have phase. Number 4, we have velocity. 5, we have wavelength. Then we have harmonics and envelope. Maybe something we can add is timbre. Timbre, yeah, T-I-M-B-R-E, timbre. So just maybe a short description. We can describe timbre as the tone or the quality of the sound. Tone, like you can have 2 acoustic guitars with different tones depending on the wood used. So, or maybe you have a piano, an acoustic piano with strings, and you have a guitar. The way you can tell this is a piano is the quality of sound, like the tone. Piano sounds different from the guitar. And even if we narrow down to the piano, we have pianos with different tones. So timbre is basically the tone or the quality of the sound. Yeah, so then you should know that the human ear only hears a frequency range of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Beyond that, you can't really hear, and below you can't hear. And the fact that you can't hear, it doesn't mean that there's no sound. There is sound that goes up to even 1,000. I mean 100,092 there. So it's just that our ears are limited. So that is it. And even the music we listen to, the speakers we listen to, there is a range to every gadget. Like this microphone, the Rode NT1A, has a frequency range. It can't just record everything. Yeah, and we also have other microphones like Shure SM58. We have Sennheisers. We have many Yamahas. I can't really name them all. There are many. So depending on the quality and the build, I mean the brand and the build quality, there is always a difference in the range, frequency range of a microphone and a speaker. For instance, these studio monitors, you cannot expect them to produce a frequency range below 30 hertz. No, they can't. Yeah, so that is about the frequencies. Yeah, and just so you understand them better, from 20 hertz is where we begin with the bass or the low. Something like kick drum is a low instrument, and bass guitar also. Maybe we can also categorize bass vocals under this category because it's bass. Yeah, so that begins from around 20 hertz. But of course, with the human voice, it's hard to get to 20 hertz. But that range, 20 hertz to around 100, is where we get the low. These frequencies are divided into 5 parts. Namely, we have low frequencies, low mids, we have mids, high mids, and highs. Yeah, so we are going to study more about how they sound and where to use what. Yeah, we'll do that practically in our next videos. So low frequencies begins from the lowest 20 hertz to about 100 or 150 depending on the range, but let's just put it up to 100 hertz. Then from there 101 or 151 hertz is where we get the low mids. Yeah, and it goes up to the low mid frequencies goes up to around 450 hertz. Yeah, Then from 51 to around 2000 is where we get the mids. It's a range, so it may be up to around 2000 hertz or 1500 hertz, but let's just put it there for now. From 451 to 2000 hertz, that's our mids. Then our high mids, from 2001 hertz to around 8000 hertz or 10,000, depending on where you want to place your range. Then from 8000 hertz to 20,000 hertz is where we get the high frequencies. Yeah, so highs are like the high frequencies or the high sounds. Then mid are the one between the high and the low. Then the low is the low. As a sound engineer, it's good to know this frequency, and you know what frequency applies to what source or what instrument or voice, like still the source. So you must know, like, the bass guitar, for it to sound better, what frequency are you going to engage? If it's a voice, what frequency, like the one I'm using here, my natural voice, am I like supposed to boost lows to sound more boomy or cut highs? It's good to know, and we are going to get through all these questions. I'll answer all your questions that you are asking yourself. Let's talk about the natural range of a human being. So human voice, with the male, we begin from a range of 90 hertz to about 8000 hertz, and for the female, from 100 hertz to about 9000 hertz. So that's the frequency range of a human voice. It may vary depending on your natural voice. So that is it. Then from one instrument to another, it also varies. Like the bass guitar, we have basses that have frequencies of even above 8000 hertz, and we have others that cannot go beyond that. So depending on the pickups and the quality of the bass guitar or the make, it will give you different frequencies. It's also good to know how these frequencies sound. Nowadays we have many applications on your phone, on the computer, that can play sounds, and you can hear through your earpieces or your speakers, yeah, from 20 hertz upward. So let's use a diagram to try to explain and demonstrate how these frequencies may look. So we are putting it in short form, but this is how we write hertz. I'll write it up here. So hertz in full, it's written like this. Yeah, so that is it. Then let's continue with the diagram. Can call this low. So this range here to here is low. Let's use a short form of that. Then from here to here, let's use all of this low mid. So low mid are from 100 hertz to about 450 hertz. Low mid. Then we have our mids here. 451 to around 2000 or 4000. You can put as you prefer. So we call these mids, our mids. Then we have our high mid here. High mid. Then we have our highs here. High. Okay, let's just use H. So low, low mid, mid, high, yeah. So these are frequency ranges, and for maybe you can do an example of a waveform. Like mostly it may begin from here, maybe then it will do something like that, depending on the source. But these are just the frequencies that may be, if you have a frequency analyzer, you may get something like this, a graphic diagram to show you how it looks in a diagram. So these are just frequencies that are used or are there in sound according to the human ear. As I said, we have frequencies beyond 20,000, and we have frequencies below 20 hertz. So, but our ears are limited, can only listen between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. So that's how we were created. Yeah, but during recording, it's always recommended to record like a sample rate it should be at least twice the frequency range of the human ear. So anything above 40,000 hertz as a sample rate will be good for recording any music or sound, be it on a computer or a hardware. Yeah, so that is it. It's just like in videography. If our shutter speed is maybe 100, it means our frame rate will be at least a half of that, so that will be 50. So like you multiply it, it should be as twice, just as twice as the exact, so to make it real, because anything below that, it will not be accurate. But the higher the range, the better. If we are to record this and we recorded it, maybe 48,000 hertz sample rate, it will record more accurately than the one recorded at 44.1 thousand hertz. Yeah, so we'll get into this. This is very technical, but I've tried to simplify it to you how this is done. Our next lesson, we are going to create a band of consisting of a drummer, a bassist, a guitarist, a keyboardist, let's say 2 keyboardists, and we'll try to arrange that mix in like the way they can be put in a mix. I'll show you from the snare, the kick. You'll understand. I will see you in the next video. I've been your host, Robert Fanny from Beats Based Studios. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.